Traffic is unbelievable. People go speeding like through my street, Beacon Drive, 50 miles an hour. The school buses speed, everything. It's just, and they all turn left to go through the Windmill Club. Whether they live in the Windmill Club, I'm not sure, because we have two developments behind Candlewood, and all the people go from there, cut through, and go all the way out to the shopping center, which includes Kohl's and everything else. It's just horrendous. We have more of a traffic problem than they had at Redwood. So that street at Redwood off Route 9 was closed because of the traffic, and that's what happened. The people complained about that, but our traffic is much worse. So we're really requesting that they close that entrance to the Windmill Club like it used to be. When I first moved into Candlewood, the Windmill Club was closed. Now, I'd like to add something. The people, it's a two-way street in one respect. The people of the Windmill Club have complained about a lot of people from Candlewood, thinking it's all from Candlewood, using the Windmill Club as a cut-through. They would also like to see it closed. And here, we live in Candlewood, we would like to see it closed. So you have two developments complaining about the same thing, the traffic going through. So it's not just the people of Candlewood on South Longview that want to see the street closed off, but the people in the Windmill Club want to see it closed, because I don't think there's anybody here from the Windmill Club tonight, but if they had heard about our petition, guaranteed they would have been here, because they're also concerned about the traffic. So it would resolve the problem by closing the road like it used to be, because we have much more traffic, like I said, than the traffic on Redwood going into Winston Park.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, sir?
Sure.
I was on the governing body when Redwood was closed.
Right.
Okay. That had more to do with during rush hour. People were cutting off of Route 9 and going through Winston Park, and I personally went and sat there 2 mornings from like 6 to 8 and had a coffee and read the paper, and 2 afternoons from like 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And that's where the major issue was then. It was people cutting off Aldridge Road to get to 9 or 195, and people coming off of 9 and 195 and cutting through Winston Park to get to Jackson and Lakewood. So that was the real issue. Are you telling me that the traffic is real bad there
yes.
all the time, or just certain hours?
No, all the time.
Okay.
Especially, well, in the morning you have people going to work, so you have a lot of people going to, in the Windmill Club. In the afternoon, it's, after 5 o'clock, you have a lot of, in fact, actually the traffic pattern in Howell, which is horrendous, going to Aldridge Road down Route 9 south, actually starts about 3 or 4 o'clock. I couldn't believe how many people get off work that early, because if you go to 3 and 4 o'clock, not just 5 o'clock, the traffic is really bad. It's backed up for miles.
As unemployment's up to 15%, it's not at 9.8%, it's more like 15, 16%.
Right.
A lot more people aren't working until 5, 6 o'clock, sir.
But the traffic is bad all the time. And then during the school buses going through,
Okay.
they use it as a cut-through.
Well, we're going to have a traffic study done. If you want, contact the manager's office or listen to the meeting. You ever watch the meetings? She'll report back to us within the next month and a half. At least to tell us it hasn't been completed yet, or it has been. We'll have copies of the reports, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Right.
Joanne Rosenberg, you to put down Mac Center. Would you like to, anything else, or would you like to speak about the Mac Center?
Should I speak when we speak about the ordinance?
Yes, not until then, but I just wanted to make sure. I've got to make sure no one screams there was something else I wanted to talk about. Okay? Pete McLaughlin. Name and address, please, for the record.
Pete McLaughlin, 43 Yellowbrook. Good evening. I have an idea that might end up saving us.
Okay, hold one second, Pete. I don't mean to interrupt you. If anybody who came in here late wants to speak about the ordinances, I'll be glad to add your name to the list after we get done with the public comment. The public comment will last no more than an hour. All I've asked is that the citizens that would like to speak about things other than the ordinances we'll be speaking about tonight, please speak now. Everybody else that wants to speak about the ordinances, speak then. So I'll be glad to take more time to add you to the list, which I already have. So when we're done with public comment, anybody who'd like to be added to the list can get added to it then. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, it's all right. Yeah, I have an idea. It might end up saving us some money.
I'm all ears.
Do we still own the old George Harms pit over by the reservoir?
The bulk of it, yes.
We do.
About 30 acres we've given to the county for a couple $1 million in grants, which Ms. Slagle has applied for.
We still own it, it's just deed restricted.
Okay.
We still own it, it's just
Yes.
deed restricted.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Well, that's an old pit, as you know, and its soil's depleted. It's a gravel pit. And what I'm thinking is we have a composting facility right over here, which we end up composting leaves, and then once they're composted, we truck them over to a farm, and we pay so much a yard to dump. With a little bit of work, we could get our own Class B recycling permit, do our own composting, replenish the soil at the pit, which would improve the value of the property because it's no slop soil at all. We wouldn't have to truck it back and forth, pay to get rid of it, and it's really not too big of a deal to get a Class B recycling permit for that. The farmers do it. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple permits. And also, as far as I know, there's not going to be an issue as far as the reservoir and runoff because I know farmers that are near creeks and stuff. There's some buffers that have to be set, but we got 150 acres or somewhere. I don't think there's a problem with that. So I think it's something worth looking into. I thought of it a couple of years back, but I thought that it was sold. But now I realize we still own it.
It was sold to us.
Yeah, I thought we sold it, but we never did. So I think we really could save quite a bit of money that way.
It's worth looking into.
Worth looking into. And another issue is, it's come to my attention that for some reason, Nelson Tree Service and Davy Tree Service has been dumping chips in our township yard. And I don't know why. They're line clearers. They clear for the power company. And whether or not it comes from the town or not, that's the power company's responsibility. And ultimately, we're going to have to pay to get rid of them.
That'll be looked into immediately, will it not, Ms. Slagle?
Yes, Mr. McLaughlin, can you just repeat the two companies?
It would be Nelson's and Davy Tree.
Okay.
And they've been dumping, from what I understand, all summer, at least 3-4 loads a day. And why? Who authorized that?
Whoa.
So, anyhow, we could fix that too, but although we spent the fuel, we could truck it over to the pit, but that should stop. We shouldn't be taking those chips.
I'll investigate it and get that information and report to you at the next meeting.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, that's
I'll
it.
give you a
Thank you.
suggestion while the DPW director look into that.
Mr. Mayor, I just had a question for Mr. McLaughlin. I just wanted to ask him. I like the idea about the compost pit. My question is, if I'm assuming it would be grass clippings, leaves, trees.
No, not grass clippings. Grass clippings are toxic, and it's a
Okay.
whole other
All right,
thing.
all right, that's
It would
what
be
I just-
leaves and our tub grindies from our brush pickup.
Okay.
All right, and wood chips that the township produces, and we could produce topsoil easily because there's subsoil out there, and we could replenish the whole area with topsoil. It could be a park later on, or if it gets sold, the value of the property would be improved because it's not just an old gravel pit. It has topsoil now.
Thank you, sir. I think it's a great
And
idea.
another thing is, also, it used to belong to Harms. There's a fenced-in area. All our recycling equipment could be moved over there, locked up. We could move everything right over there.
Oh, you got stormwater drainage issues, you got a lot of issues, okay? There are many, many issues. That may sound like a great idea, okay? There's a lot more to it than
Well,
just
I know
move
for-
all our equipment over there and let's park it there.
All right, well,
It's not that simple. Last year, it got suggested that instead of building a $250,000 salt dome, we get a $40,000 log cabin
well,
from out in Lancaster. It doesn't work that way.
I know for a fact with the leaves it does, because the farmers do it. We bring the leaves in, you take a tractor, you till them in.
I'm not.
Okay, now maybe the tub grindies, even if it came down to we leave the thing over there, and then once they're composted, we truck them over, but I still think it'd be worth looking
Sure.
into moving the equipment.
I already said we'll have the